This is something that just recently happened 5 days ago, so absolutely nothing has been resolved, and that's why I'm here explaining this situation. My F-35 husband M-33 put trash into a homeless woman's bucket instead of money. Me and my husband like to travel a lot. We were recently traveling to Los Angeles, California, and while we were there, we immediately began to take note of all the homeless people lining the streets. I know LA has a reputation for homelessness, drugs, and crime, but it's safe to say we were both very surprised at what we saw there, especially my husband. My husband is a very firm believer in the fact that everyone can pull themselves out of dark places and homelessness with enough effort. I also agree with many of the things he says, but he can often get extremely cruel when talking about these people, almost to the point of not even treating them like humans. Which is exactly what happened while we were in LA. Me and my husband were walking in downtown LA during the day, not the safest place to be, I know. We had passed many homeless people, but me and my husband just ignored them, despite me feeling genuinely sorry for a few of them, until one woman seemed to push my husband over the edge. She was holding a sign and standing next to a tent. She was asking everyone that passed for money to support her family, and most people just ignored her. She said the exact same thing to us, except for some reason my husband stopped walking and turned to look at her. I was obviously extremely uncomfortable, and I actually had to turn around and walk back a little, because I just wasn't expecting my husband to stop. My husband told her, and I'm 90% sure this is what he said, "Hey, shut your fucking mouth. Stop asking everyone around here for a handout and get a fucking job. I feel extremely sorry for your children." What kind of example are you setting for them? That it's okay to beg for money? You're all parasites to this fucking street. My husband then proceeded to grab a few wrappers and plastic bottles out of my backpack and put them into the woman's bucket. The woman didn't say anything and just went back in her tent with the bucket. I was extremely shocked and honestly a bit scared of my husband in that moment. I asked him why he would say and do something so cruel, and he continued to tell me these people are ruining this country, and that almost all of them are capable of working or doing something along those lines. I told him I completely agree, but I kept asking why he put our trash in her bucket, or why he had to curse her out publicly on the street. My husband told me he's hoping that what he did will motivate her to get a job and realize her situation. He said many other things, but I don't feel like it's relevant to this story. I don't really have any particular question, I'm just very worried about my husband, and I feel like he was a different person in that moment.